Namaste everyone, my name is Arjuna AWARDEE. It's very good to see all of you. We have a very special guest amongst us today, our own Harini's sister, but Harini is not here right now. But anyways, Shanta Rangaswamy is, we're very happy to have her. We are very, very glad to have her here. And before we introduce her formally, without misspelling her name, I just want to let you know our agenda for 11 to 12 hour, this next hour. What we are going to, so Manoj is going to be introducing Shantaji. After that, we will have a moderated discussion with you about sports and cricket, both in India as well as here, and we welcome your participation also, and that will go on for about 30 minutes. After that, we will have a vote of thanks and then a little bit of mingling with Shantaji. So without further delay, I invite Manoj Chopra, who is our Vice President for the temple, to introduce Shantaji.
Thank you, Sunita-ji. Yes, we are actually very honored to have her as a part of our career speaker series. We do organize various, we bring in speakers, but today we are so fortunate to have such a person of such a high stature being here, who is an Arjuna Award winner, who is the first captain of Indian women cricket team, and who has essentially paved the way for many girls to aspire to become not just in cricket, but in many, many sports. It is not easy. And for girls to spend, because it's very difficult many times to break the glass ceiling. And what Shantaji has done is broken the glass ceiling. I think we would love to hear how she progressed and how we can motivate youth, especially girls, to take that, to how to think about and take the things to the next level. And with that, everyone knows about her, and she has won many tournaments, and I'm sure some were very challenging, some were probably easy, and we would like to know the motivational skills, and as well as the navigating, building the career, as well as building the team and taking as a cricket coach and everything. Thank you, Shanta Rangaswamy ji, for being here. We are very, very honored to have you here.
Oh, okay. There are two more cricketers.
Okay.
No.
She's there.
Okay, then please come, please be here then. Yes, come on.
Thank you.
We are going to keep it very, very informal. It's more like a meet and greet and share your personal experiences. And we are so fortunate that Harini ji is here, so that's the reason we could get her here. So thank you, Harini ji, as well. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, please just give us your name, just so that we know. And okay.
Kalpana Venkatacha, former India opening bat wicket keeper. She has a record in the World Cup. It's still held by her jointly with someone else. Meera Subramaniam, she's played for the state. She's from Boston now. She's come because we are on the verge of leaving. So she has come.
All right, well, welcome to both of you. And, this is going to be a very interactive session. Naguji, if you'd like to come here, just so that you can maybe ask her some questions also. But I will start out by asking Shantaji, if you can tell us about your journey, how you got into cricket, what it was like growing up in India, and some of those things. This one maybe a little bit better.
It's like a science fiction movie where the time, is condensed into a capsule. You know, so if I start off, it will take hours together. But just yes, I grew up in a joint family, and we had a big bungalow, and we had space in front. So we were about 30 cousins living there, including my own 6 sisters. We are 7 of us. So we used to play every weekend at home, playing tennis ball cricket at home. I'm talking when I was 7, 8. We were all kids then. And then the winner would get a pencil or an eraser. You know, it used to be, I'm talking of the early 60s. That's how it started. But then my women's cricket had not started in India then. I had to buy my time. It all, I first, because in the school that I studied, badminton was one of the lead sports. I became the captain there. Then college also. We started our club, Falcon Sports Club. Both Kalpana and Meera, part of it. Nag was the treasurer, Harini and Malini, all of them played for the club. That club actually it acted as a springboard for many of us to further our career. So so from that club, I became the first captain of the Karnataka softball team, because cricket wasn't in existence then. So I mean, in India. So later on, cricket was started in 1973, and I read a report saying the first nationals was held in early March or April 1973, and we were surprised because there was not much publicity. They were not even aware of it. And later on, I heard that Mumbai, Maharashtra, and the third team, UP, had some. They didn't have a full team, so some of the extras of Maharashtra played for UP then. And one such player who didn't fit into the Maharashtra team, who played for UP later on, went on to succeed me as the Indian captain. So all humble beginnings. So, and a few months later, in November, the second nationals, which I feel is actually the first, suddenly from 2.5 teams, it became 14 teams. And that was the first interstate tournament, and we were the runners-up. I got the best all-rounder award. So that's how it started, and then obstacles were many, but there was no looking back, because we were driven by passion. In fact, in some instances, when I talk to some of my male counterparts, I keep telling them, you had some incentives, money. We had none, just a passion. In fact, we acknowledge it. But surprisingly, even I was misinformed. I recently, a few months back, I saw the 1983 World Cup team, winning team, the men's team. They had signed a voucher. They paid 250 rupees as match fees, which I feel even they were pretty lowly paid. But then things are more, I think, with globalization. You see, the economic reforms that started in '91 really catapulted Indian economy and cricket. And there has been no looking back since then.
Wonderful. That's a very inspiring story. Can you talk a little bit about, and please, let me know if you're having, please talk about your parents' role and what you might want to say to some of our parents, because obviously everybody puts a lot of emphasis on studies, not so much on sports. So anything you might want to say to them.
Keep it close. Smita, keep it close when you talk.
I think basically, we lost our father when we were very young. So our mother actually was the source of inspiration for all of us. She allowed us to pursue our goals. But the only thing she insisted was that we must not ignore our academics. So my 6 sisters, 4 of them are engineers, 1 a PhD, another double graduate, and I barely, because of my mother, I graduated because I was so deep into sports. But then it didn't mean that I couldn't. In every year, in the first test, before the sports commenced, I used to be one of the toppers. And afterwards, I used to lag behind because I hardly attended classes. I would say, and that's a misconception because you didn't ask me now, but on the other day before when you spoke to me on the phone, you said the parents were worried. No, not really. You see, those inhibitions are mostly gone. People recognize that sports can give you a career, more so now. Our times, yes, we had to, unfortunately, I got into a bank. I joined Canara Bank, and without taking any out-of-turn promotion eligible for sportsmen, I still reached top general manager sports. But now, if you see the current day, even women cricketers, they make a lot of money. And I'm glad that we, the pioneers who started it then, we laid a very solid foundation on which the edifice, the superstructure is now built, and it's still being built. I'm sure, you see, let me tell you, I agree, academics, your education is important, but then all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Just remember that. And I'm sure, but I saw that, I don't know the concept here, but in India it's changed a lot. People are encouraging their wards, their kids to get into sports. So I think this is supposed to be, while India is the biggest democracy, USA is the greatest democracy, I read a lot about it. I'm sure the parents here will encourage their children to play if they are cut out for sports.
Yeah, sure. So we can, anybody who has questions, if you'd like to come up here, and maybe we can use that microphone, and you can maybe.
Hello?
Yes. So if you want, sure. If you want to. Yeah. So basically, this is going to be a very interactive session. So if you want to come and ask any questions, feel free. We really want to get the most of her in cricket experience and sports experience.
Namaste. Namaste, Shantaji, and another, I forgot the name. Yeah. I know Harini from long time. She always used to say very proudly, my sisters, and I heard about Shantaji, I heard about you through Harini so many times. And then I followed you on the Facebook, and first of all, congratulations. And my main question is, how the society, the stigma at that time, you playing cricket, because even now, even though there is a female cricket team in India, still they say these sports are only for boys. Okay? Still in many places, I know it is changing. So how you overcome that stigma?
I think maybe my time it was relevant. It's no more. It's no more a stigma because every third cricketer is a female cricketer in India. So it's not. Yes, we had initially lot of doubting Thomases. So they always used to rag, make fun. But then the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The one good thing that we made, which I say with pride, is we did not lose. In the initial phases, either we won or we drew. So what happened was, people started, becoming aware. And then we had very good publicity in the press, the print media. At that time, electronic media hadn't yet come in, but the print media gave us a lot of publicity. And just as a counter, when we were doing well and I was the mainstay of the Indian women's team batting, there was many letters to the editor published in the newspapers. When our men's team wasn't doing well, they were losing. People are writing, why don't you include Shanta and Diana in the men's team? Things like that. So there was a transformation in their thinking. And today I can tell you no such stigma is attached. Because, as I said, every third cricketer, almost third or fourth cricketer is a women cricketer. So I wouldn't, I don't know here, especially amongst the Indians. Basically, I've noticed India has changed a lot. My sister came here in '73, so she still has the 1973 values of India. We have changed there. And I'm not saying anything derogatory here. We still have values, but the concepts have changed. And one such is the stigma that we are talking about.
I just want to share one personal experience of ours. We had 4 sisters, and my father was so different. As soon as we come from home school, of course, older sisters at that time college, we have to do cycling and also we play ball, badminton and shuttle. But in the neighborhood, everybody criticized my father. Why do you allow the girls to play all these things? And he ignored. So I played shuttle badminton and ball badminton, and later on moving to this part, I got into tennis. I was the level C player of tennis, but I did not take good care of my nutrition. So, developed, knee pains and all, and stopped playing tennis. So I know that, how it goes. So thank you, Shantaji. And, probably you should talk to the school children. Probably you may be doing that in India and also here, or write an article and then, inspire more youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more question for you. So you have been very active in cricket, not just as a player, but you went to the next level. Can you talk about some of that? And again, sort of opening opportunity. Your body doesn't stay, youthful for forever. So looking for some of those opportunities and career paths. If you can talk about that, that would be great.
I honestly don't know what exactly you asked, but if you're talking of a career path as prevailing now, I can tell you, even though I retired over 30 years back from cricket, from playing cricket, I didn't have a say because I virtually single-handedly ran the Karnataka Women's Cricket Association because I knew it needed some new thoughts. And then the first thing I did was, because of my performances as a player, as a captain, I had access, so I could meet the railway ministers, get jobs. That was the first thing we did. Was quite a few of them I concentrated on the Karnataka women. Quite a few are still working in the railways, and I know some of us had a role in it. And then I concentrated on my banking career, where I rose up to the rank of the general manager. Immediately on retirement, I was named the chairman of the Indian team selection committee. After that, I was in the cricket advisory committee of the BCCI with Kapil Dev and Anshuman Gaikwad. Unfortunately, we lost him in June. After that, I got elected to the core committee, which is called the BCCI Apex Council. So, in the process, I had to give up all other things because, as per the new rule, we could not have any conflict of interest. So, commentary, writing, all that now, I'm done with all that now. Career path. So, the one thing is, 2 years back, we took our my van, Kalpana, myself, and then one of the other India cricketer, Mala. we went to Hubli, where the Parliamentary Affairs Minister was. We met him, and I got them to start the Southwestern Railway team. 4-5 of them, about 9-10, but 4-5 from Bangalore got the job. Unfortunately, I told 2-3 of them are resigning because they prefer playing to Karnataka. Now, financial dependence on the job has reduced because now they get paid. Even for domestic matches, they get paid and things like that. So, no, so career path is there. But I agree, it's not as rosy as the picture I'm depicting because just few. When I was in the bank, I could convince our chairman and we formed a women's cricket team in Canara Bank. Wherein quite a few of my contemporaries joined in different parts of India. Like, if you want India names, Fauzia Khalili, who resigned and she's now in Canada, Sudha Shah, Sumit Iyer, Kalpana. I'm sure about 20 of us got jobs in Canara Bank. So, likewise, there is a possibility, but then it's not something that you can take for granted. Someone has to do the donkey's job. And I don't know who the next donkey will be because my time is up. But there is a career path. And as of now, when I was in the Apex Council, as the chairman of the selection committee, I spoke to the then president of BCCI, Mr. Anurag Thakur, who went on to become the sports minister also later. And they started the contract system for the women. Central contracts are given. Earlier only men were getting, now women are getting, though it's much lesser, but it was a good beginning. So, see, if you're good at something, you're generally good in most things. So, I'm sure people who are good sportsmen will find their way out of all financial problems.
Right?
Thank you. I think she can elaborate. The times they were playing, it was on their own money. They had to travel within India. No funding came. So I remember when they traveled to West Indies and USA, she raised money through donations and they traveled. I mean, imagine that the burden on the shoulders for raising money, setting up a good team, and traveling, compared to what they have. They have traveled in second class, third class, standing sometimes. So those things the current teams are benefiting. I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't get a single pie out of all that effort, but her struggles and the other people is now pathway for many of the current people. So that somebody has to pay initially. So, and then I think she needs to mention the incident with the president of India, with my mother, and she went and talked about it.
Now, basically, we all our travel till my playing days, for entire playing days, used to be my second class, the third class had gone, because in the 60s the third class was there. By 70s, the Indian railways had removed the concept of third class, only first and second class. We had, and you know, when we play a knockout tournament, I'm sure most of you will know what it is. The minute we lose, next day, within 24 hours, we have to leave. And getting railway tickets wasn't easy. So invariably, we used to get into unreserved compartments, sit near ladies' compartments, sit near the toilets, and most of the time, those days, because security wasn't that good. Today, railways, no one will dare it because there is security there. Men would barge in because anywhere they would like to get in, we would fight. You know, we have faced it. And yes, I never got paid for playing. But the other aspect she mentioned was the tour that I formed a club called India Club. I was the president, all the players, and we all raised funds. And we toured Holland, England, West Indies, and on the way back we came to USA. Many of you might not have even come to USA by then. Many not born at that time, in 79. But then, those were days. And when I got the Arjuna Award, those days they used to give 2 tickets, train tickets. So I took my mom with me to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Ashoka Hall where the awards were distributed. And the then President Neelam Sanjeev Reddy was there. He looked at my mom's attire and he switched over to Tamil. He said, I was very lean there, fit, lean. And I was coughing because of the Delhi cold there. It was, he said, he called her, Innamani, you're not feeding her well, he asked. In Chase Tamil, the president asked, my mom smiled, and then we wanted a picture with him. The Delhi University Vice Chancellor came in. This is what the president said, wait. He asked the photographer to take a picture of us first, and then he was courtesy personified. But I honestly don't like to speak about the hardships we faced because that's something I would like to treasure it. But one reason we feel proud of the pioneers, what we did was we ensured we laid a solid foundation. Even today, many ask me, some of them press reporters, even today, some conference, something, when I was in the Cricket Advisory Committee, we would name the coach of the Indian men's team and the women's team. So there used to be interactions. They would ask, I would say, was that your century or your first victory or your first 6, things like that? I would tell them, no, these are all my personal achievements. Anyone else can do it. But what no one can take away from us is the pride that we laid that foundation and ensured the longevity of the game. That is something I really feel proud of.
I'd like to ask the audience to ask any questions. So would you like to please just come up here and use the microphone? And then Manoj, after that you can come. And then after that.
Hello, I'm Nikhil. That's my mother right there. Closer.
Closer, closer.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So you got to travel all over the world back in the 70s and 80s. Probably when a lot of people weren't doing that. A lot of women and, you know, especially your own sisters and stuff. What country did you enjoy going to the most to play at? And did you actually get to enjoy yourself when you went there to like Holland or West Indies? You know, did you get a beach day to kind of relax and take it in? This is kind of a random question, but I figured I'd ask.
Cricket-wise, I still rate the toughest country to play on the pitch will be England because the ball really seams a lot. So a good score in England is always worth it. That's what someone from Indore was talking to me about. Sandhya Agarwal. She got a 189. She batted for almost 2.5 days of a 4-day test. She was concentration personified. Someone from Indore was talking to me about Sandhya Agarwal, yeah. So she had the technique to stand and play, but Nikhil was talking about enjoying. I think the West Indies was definitely because by nature they are buoyant type, like to enjoy their time. In fact, because we were doing so well, I remember Guyana we were playing, people, any 4 we hit, they come running in, put the Guyanese dollar in our pockets and go. So generally, first match, second match, I thought others can bat. Then when this started happening, Guyana, I said, hey, I'll go first. I mean, so yes, and they were very keen. See, good or bad, I wouldn't know because they've been living there for generations, but they still think India is their country. So they were saying, beat them, you know, you run all the way, tell them, come on, don't let them go, beat them. I honestly don't know, must have been the harassment they faced over the centuries or whatever, but yes, West Indies was definitely, it's a nice place to play. We were in Trinidad and Tobago, we were the guests of the government because 40% of the population in Trinidad comprises of Indians. And I think the elections must have been around the corner. That minister was traveling with us from the hotel to the ground back. You know, they took such good care of us. So generally nice people. Yes, pardon me, the British a little used to be snobbish. Now not anymore. Now with IPL, the Indian Premier League, taking off in a cavalier fashion, most of them want to be part of the IPL. So the Australian team is perhaps one of the worst teams. Their behavior used to be atrocious on the field. I'm talking of the men. Women were far better. So it's only during Ganguly's time, our players, one thing, the team was doing well. Secondly, he gave them the freedom. They started giving it back. And then the IPL happened. Now they're all, their tails are all stuck. They don't even wag it. Because, I don't know, most of you, if you remember the Harbhajan incident, he said something and because he retaliated and they complained it was a racist remark, but then this is a temple, I don't want to repeat the word, but Sachin went and testified in the hearing that that's not what he said and it was, they let go. The aggrieved cricketer unfortunately passed away later on in some accident or something. So India is now perhaps the best place to play cricket because this year we have the Women's Premier League, the second edition. You won't believe it. Bangalore Stadium was full, and these are ticketed. It's not just passes. And then we have the finals, semis, and the finals were in Delhi. The Ferozshah Kotla ground, since named as the Arun Jaitley Cricket Stadium, was full. So it is picking up, and even the cricketers from abroad would like to come and play in India, simply because of the atmosphere the crowd creates and things like that.
Manoj?
Yes, I can ask you. So my question is, we probably all may have it. So life is all about ups and downs, and especially in the field of cricket or any other game, it'll be a lot more. So how did you motivate yourself and your team to go to the next height? And secondly, what would you say to all of us to motivate ourselves when we are in our lows?
Yes, today, human tendency is to reflect only upon successes, not failures. I can tell you we lost as many matches as we won. So it's never an easy thing. It has always been a tough ride. The terrain wasn't favorable, wasn't easy. But personally, and I used to, even team meetings, since I was the first captain, I used to tell the team only one thing. The future of this game depends on us. So do well. And unfortunately, those days, the initial phases, when I made my debut, and I was just 20 or something, others were 16, 17, 18, things like that. Some were older than me, but the main players I'm talking of. So I took upon myself the responsibility. So invariably when I walked in, our team was in a precarious position. I had to hang around, score, things like that. But that only helped me gain in confidence, and it has helped me in life also, the experiences that I've had. So it's never a bed of flowers. It's more of thorns than flowers. So the only thing you have to realize is, have a goal. If you want to go there, it may be a lot of obstacles, impediments, but then if you are determined to do it, if it's for a cause, one can definitely do it.
We'll take one last question, and then we'll have thank you and meet and greet. Thank you.
You covered a lot. First of all, I would First of all, I want to say thanks that you really put a good foundation for the women cricket. There's one important question is that you played also a role in BCCI. How do you take care of the older cricketers? Like, for example, Anshuman Gaikwad was really very sick, and we were very sad to know about it. So how is BCCI playing any role in taking care of the older cricketers?
Is there any more questions?
The second one was, do BCCI encourage to bring a similar World Cup for the ladies here, for the women here in US?
I'll take the second question first. The men's Prudential Cup, the first one was in 1975. The women's was in 1973. We actually set the tone for the men to follow. And it even before I just started playing, that's because of one Rachel Haver-Flynn, former captain of England. She was the one, she was a pioneer, and she mobilized sponsors. It's all players who used to do the work, because those days were different. So World Cups, T20 World Cups take place every alternate year, like the men. The ODI World Cup takes place once in 4 years. It's been in vogue since 1973. How does BCCI take care? There is a hospitalization reimbursement scheme of BCCI. We raised the limit up to 10 lakhs for those players who played a minimum. They have 10 first-class matches as the criteria, or India, or even one game. So up to 10 lakhs in your lifetime, you can avail that. Now, recently, because Anshuman, I'm one of the directors of the Indian Cricketers Association. You see, when the first Apex Council and the new norms was formed, I got elected from the women cricketers side, and Anshuman got elected from the men's. We were both on the same council, and both of us had to really fight to take care of the retired cricketers. But they were pretty receptive. To be honest, I don't want to take the credit, but they were, for most part of it, they agreed to whatever we were suggesting. It was 5 lakhs, and we increased it to 10 lakhs. In fact, I argued that they should take health insurance for all cricketers. The premium was working out to 1.5 or 2 crores. Whereas they were giving 40-50 lakhs only. They said, no, we'll double it. So they'll still save money. I mean, you see, there are business people also on the BCCI. So that's one thing. Recently, when he was diagnosed with blood cancer, Anshuman went to England for 2-3 months, spent over 4 crores. So we, from the Indian Cricket Association, what little we had, we gave some. But we prevailed upon BCCI, and he was given 1 crore. So BCCI, despite the general opinion, they are pretty helpful. It's just that you need to approach them the right way. All cricketers who played 10 first class or more, or played for India, they get a pension. And it gets, the widows get it, or widowers. That situation hasn't yet come in. It's only because women's cricket, still, the men do get a lot of assistance and help. And contrary to popular opinion, BCCI is pretty helpful, and they take care.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite Kanchan Nagarani ji to recognize you and give you a little word of thanks. Kanchan. Thank you very much for your inspiring words.
I thank all of you for coming. Thanks.
Namaste everybody, and thank you very much Shanta ji coming here this morning and joining us and give us a little bit more information about the women's cricket, and also thank you all of you to come here in the Sunday morning and spend time with us. So we are very, very, very thankful to you, and we would like to take this opportunity to honor her and thank her. So please.
Thank you.
very much, Shantaji. Thank you. And also, I want to thank Harni. What is Harni?
Come on, come on.
Harni, come here. We can take a picture together here. Sit here, Harni. Come on, Manu. Come on, Manu. Let's take a picture.
Please stand.
EC members, Bharti ji, Raju bhai, Jesh bhai.
All EC members,
Yeah.
all EC members. I'm sorry, BOT, I thought also BOT.
BOT is here. Board laga दी.
You were sitting here. No problem. I got you, Mom. Hey, we smile. Smile. Here we go.
दीपा सेंटर से ले लो.
If any of you would like to come and talk to her, you're more than welcome to talk to her. Thank you.
One picture of us. Arjuna, let me shake hands.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
अच्छा वो लोग गए क्या? How are you? Good to see you. All right. Arjuna,
So he's in the so we got